Dave.
Liam.
Christmas special. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. It's all lit up in here.
I've made a bit of an effort, haven't I? So I've got the Christmas lights out. Even Jackie
grotto.
said, "You're making more of an effort for Dave." I said, "Well, Dave laughs at me jokes."
That is true, yeah.
It is true. I said, we do amuse each other.
Yeah, ridiculously so as well. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever put it out, but when we tried to do the, would you call it the outro, the little promo that is on the end of every episode,
yes.
and we just couldn't.
Oh, yeah. I've still got it
laughing.
somewhere. It's, yeah. All we had to say was Kenny's doing work experience.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It
Couldn't
was
do
about
it.
15 minutes, didn't it? Anyway, this is a bonus episode that we'll put out just before Christmas. So it is a Christmas special. And dead simple, all we've both done is pick 5 TV shows, films, or things that we like to watch or recommend around Christmas time. So, Dave, you're up first. What's your first choice? What are you going to tell a listener to watch at Christmas?
So I've gone with a movie.
Oh, okay.
I've gone with a movie that we watch every year and probably watched every year, at least for the last 20 years, we've watched it
Okay.
on Christmas Eve, like every year. So it's 1989's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Who's in this one then? Is it
So this is obviously Chevy Chase and Beverly
What year was it?
D'Angelo, 1989.
1989, yeah.
This is the one with Juliette Lewis and Johnny Galecki are the kids in it.
From Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. So it's up there. I don't think I've got a favourite Christmas film because it's hard. I think there's too many out there. But for the one that we watch and makes us feel like Christmas, it's definitely this one. I think it's got all the comedy elements, but again, it's got all the family elements, which is what you're looking for in a Christmas movie, isn't it? It's all about kind of getting everyone together. Randy Quaid, obviously, is amazing in it as the cousin that turns up. So it's definitely it's in my like top 5, 10, whatever you want to have a list of movies. We watch it every year, but there's a link to the Rob Reiner box set.
Really?
So the neighbours next door, played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, is in it, who plays Margot, and her partner in it is Nicholas Guest, who is Christopher Guest's brother.
Shut up.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he had a brother.
Didn't know he had a brother. So Christopher Guest is in like pretty much
Yes.
all the Rob Reiner films. Yeah, his brother is in Christmas Vacation as the neighbour that Chevy Chase absolutely harasses and destroys their Christmas for.
I have seen it's been a long time since I've seen it, so I might have to myself go back and revisit that one. For my first choice is I struggled coming up with a list of films, so you'll see what I mean by my choices now, because as we always say, someone who has a film podcast, I'm not a big rewatcher of films, but I've tried to pick a couple of things that are quite personal to me for the Christmas. The first one I've gone for, and it's been a bit of a mainstay last couple of Christmases for me and Jackie, Gavin and Stacey, as in the series, and they've done 2 Christmas specials. They did the Christmas special at the end of season 2, and then he come back and did the 2019 Christmas special, which was like 10 years later. I'm a big fan of Gavin and Stacey.
So this is the bit where I say I've never seen it.
Have you never seen it? You've never seen any Gavin and Stacey?
Not one.
I can't believe that. Oh, Dave.
And I love Bob Brydon as well. I know Bob Brydon's in it, but it's just one of those shows that, for some reason, just passed me by. Do you see it was on BBC Two?
Yeah, it was BBC Two, yeah.
And I don't know whether it was just maybe there was maybe a Channel 4 comedy on at the time or whatever it was, but for some reason, I've never watched it and I've never gone back to revisit it.
I think the 2019 special that they came back 10 years later, because Matthew Corden and the other lad who's in it had a bit of a falling out. They were really good friends, and then he sort of fell out a bit, and he managed to sort of reconnect. But it's James Corden and Ruth Jones who wrote it all as well. Because they worked on Fat Friends, which was a ITV series. That's where they met, and he started knocking this idea around, and he went and wrote it. First couple of series are brilliant.
So is it James Corden and who?
Ruth Jones.
And who's the other one you just mentioned? Matthew
Horn.
Matthew Horn.
He did a lot with Catherine Tate.
Right.
He was the grandson in The Grandmother.
And he's in the school sketches as well, isn't
he? He's really good in it, and Joanna Page is Stacey as well. But it's Nessa who's Ruth Jones. She just steals the show. It's worth going back just for there's loads of little things in it. And if you got onto the surnames as well, it's like Shipman is one family. Like, so all the families are named after serial killers, and loads of little tiny things like that as well. There's loads of little things in it, and in the Welsh family in Billicurry, not Billicurry, that's the Essex. That's where Gavin's family live in Essex. It's Barry in Cardiff. The neighbour next door, Doris, is hilarious. And Rob Brydon's hilarious in it. I think Rob Brydon's probably one of the standouts from it. But I would go back and watch it. The 2019 special, it's okay. But the Christmas bit that got me is the Christmas special he did end of season 2. Smithy's in a car singing "Do They Know It's Christmas Time?" And the lyrics are all about, people more unfortunate than you, in the middle of road rage where he's shouting at people to move on, come on, and he's swearing while singing.
A song that's meant to be all about coming together.
Absolutely brilliant. Do They Know It's Christmas?
I've seen the sketch with George Michael, what James Corden did as the character from the show.
Yes.
I think it was for comic relief or something. Yeah. So I'm obviously aware of the show and the character, but never seen it.
Oh, interesting.
So I need to give it a view, do I?
Interesting. What's your second choice then, Dave?
I've gone with a TV show, but it's hard to say like a particular one because it ran from 1969 to 1977. The Morecambe and Wise Christmas specials. That is Christmas for me. I think the BBC put the Morecambe and Wise. Well,
I'm going to have to say that's on my list.
Have you done it as well?
That's on my list. I didn't know what to say, so we both got it. Because by the way, listener, we haven't pre-planned this. We honestly just said, "Come, I've got it." I'm absolutely with you on this.
I think it's what's his name, the Andre Previn. He's the German American pianist and composer. It's that line, isn't it, from playing the piano? He says about I am playing all the right notes, just not necessarily in the right order. That line that'll stay with me for forever. I've known it since I was a kid. I've never not known that line, and I think it just feels like Christmas when Morecambe and Wise are on. There's obviously other sketches as well, isn't he? The Des O'Connor sketch is brilliant. Elton John was on it, and the Angela Rippon one's probably up there with like the most famous one. So listen, if you don't know Angela Rippon, she's a very serious newsreader, wasn't she, for the BBC? And she's reading the news and then just breaks into
dance. It's brilliant. It's everything they do. They're just so funny together, and their relationship is absolutely fascinating. It was third on my list, so that's one less for me to. But
you can tell us why you put it on, though.
Okay, for my second choice, then. I don't generally watch films with my mum because my mum's not a big fan of films. When it comes to TV, my mum just likes soaps. That's her level of TV, or X Factor or stuff like that. So again, don't really watch that. But when I was growing up with mum, one of the things we always did at Christmas was generally I'd buy her a stand-up comedy video. And there was a few that were our big favourites.
Which that's how you get the books out of all people. But stand-up comedy, the DVD stand-up comedy was the big thing, wasn't it?
So there was a couple of big favourites of ours. Eddie Izzard was a big popular. Lee Mack brought one out. I think it's his first one he released. It was absolutely hilarious. But the one I've gone for is quite an old one. It's the 1985 An Audience of Billy Connolly. the amount of times we went back and revisited this, and it's always at Christmas time we watched comedy. And if you remember, do you still think they still do it? An audience with on ITV? Do you have like all like
There's musicians on now because I think the Carly one's just been on this
done
weekend.
one recently.
Yeah.
So
it's an ITV thing, isn't it?
they have like the audience packed with famous people, and they try and squeeze in a couple of cheesy,
Semi-famous.
yeah, well, yeah. They pack in a couple of cheesy questions in there, but the Billy Connolly one is like it's over 2 hours long. And it was, I always that vivid memory of him in that black and white zebra shirt. But it's at the moment he was just at the peak. He was untouchable, and it still stands today. I think it's one of the funniest 2 hours of stand-up comedy ever. He's an absolute hero.
I bet it wasn't planned to be 2 hours.
Oh God, no.
It was probably only meant to be at least an hour, and actually probably 45 minutes with adverts. And I think he's come out and probably done 2 hours of just uneditable comedy where he just went, this is gold. And it is all gold, isn't it?
Really, yeah.
The sad thing I think about watching it now, though, is how much of that audience aren't with us anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in
when
there.
You watch it now, because they were probably some of them in the 50s, 60s when it was filmed as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's quite sad watching it sometimes.
1985, so it's nearly 40 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, there's people that still around, like Jimmy Tarbuck and stuff like that in it, but Billy Connolly in our house, obviously, my dad's from Dundee and just loved Billy Connolly all the time anyway, so all his tour of Scotland and any of his specials were just always on in our house. But that ITV one is it's something special.
He's got a few stand-up shows, but that's the pinnacle.
It makes you think of Christmas then for you.
Always, it's that, always. Any stand-up, like I said, is one of the few things I used to sit and watch with my mum quite regularly. All right, then moving on. What else is on your list, Dave?
So I've gone with a cartoon.
Ooh.
And it's only a short cartoon, it's only 26 minutes, but it's the 1983 Mickey's Christmas Carol.
Interesting.
I absolutely love Mickey's Christmas Carol, and I always have. And I think, obviously, even if we didn't have kids, we would still watch it. Obviously our kids are grown up, but we'll probably still watch it at some point. I mean, if you've never seen it, I like the fact that it's the Disney characters playing. They're not playing like Mickey Mouse is in it, but he's playing Bob Cratchit. So it's almost like they've got credits. So, Scrooge McDuck is Ebenezer Scrooge, and then you've got Mickey is Bob Cratchit. You've got Goofy is Jacob Marley.
I don't think I've actually seen this,
Man,
and it's interesting because
so
at the moment, Lilybell is obsessed with Mickey Mouse. So I'm going to dig this out.
It'll be on Disney Plus.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just Scrooge. It's just that. It's a Christmas Carol. It is that story.
Of course, you have to have Scrooge McDuck scream.
Obviously, yeah, but it's got all the exact same beats. Me and the ghosts visiting him, and the ending and Tiny Tim, and all that is in there, just in this 26-minute Disney special, and it is special. Like you are gonna have to watch it. I absolutely love it.
Definitely. All right then. So that was your choice. My next one was Morecambe Wise at this point.
Okay, so why did you do it then?
Because it is just Christmas, and more so when I was really, really young. We used to always go to my nan's, which is my mum's mum, and it was the moment where we'd already had Christmas dinner, we'd already sat off and we'd played games, messed around, and then when Morecambe and Wise was on in the evening, it was the time my nan would settle down with a little, like, she never drank, but she would have like a little tipple of sherry or something, but she'd always make sure she'd made some turkey butties, and we'd all sit down, and we'd all sit and watch Morecambe Wise, and it's that memories, and I've always loved every Christmas. Even if it's not the Christmas specials, our YouTube, just Morecambe and Wise sketches, just Morecambe and Wise. Even if it's not the Christmas specials, just make me think of Christmas. I was watching the one with that. Must have been like mid-70s. I can't remember again. She's a Danish singer who was quite famous for the banana boat song or something. I don't know if it's politically correct anymore, but they're singing along with her, and he's got like shakers.
Yeah,
and
maracas.
Yeah, but when he shakes them, nothing comes out of it, and then he's like, "What's going on?" And then he starts shaking his head, and that's where the noise comes on, and he shakes a leg, and the maracas go, and it's just, it's just absolutely brilliant, and anything to do with Morecambe and Wise I love. And I still think that's the sketch you went on about the Andre Piven, which is ultimately always Christmas memory. I love the one where I think they're in the bed or whatever. And
they're always in the bed like Bert and Ernie.
Yeah. But the bit where the ambulance or something goes past and he just goes up the window and goes, "He's not going to sell many ice creams going that fast, is he?" Just anyone else saying it, it's not that funny.
To be honest, I mean, I've got these glasses on, haven't I, just purely for reading. But just doing that,
yeah,
I'm shaking the meal, isn't it? It just reminds me, and it's not even like a great visual gag.
No.
But when he does it, when he shakes his glasses, like it's that little thing. It's hilarious, isn't it?
Their little nods and winks to each other, and also when they're just about to crack as well. There's quite a lot of moments where they, especially
because it's live, isn't it?
Yeah, especially when there's a guest involved, and they're almost cracking. They're the funniest moments. They are absolutely British treasures. Especially anyone who's a non-British listener. Go and Google Morecambe and Wise. Did you know their main writer, pretty much through their whole career, I think his name was Eddie Braben or Braben, something like that, literally from down the road in Nottingham.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
It was a documentary I watched. I think Miranda Harp presented it, and she went and interviewed him. A fascinating guy, like how you end up writing for Morecambe and Wise, but he was their go-to man for pretty much their whole career. I think they tried writing and it didn't work. It was always him, but he did a lot of the jokes himself. The way, and then we've spoke about this before. American have teams of writers.
Yeah,
it was pretty much just him, and he said he would. Remember what bit of the interview he was like, "It's coming to Christmas," and he knew they were doing a special. He said, "I didn't have a single joke," and I was like, "Oh my god!" He would literally just sit in a room with a typewriter. But he said those two are just. He said you could give them something that wasn't funny, they make it funny.
I think a lot of British comedy is just like kind of. It was like I think like John Sullivan did a lot of like Only Fools and Horses. But I think you're right. I think you can write any joke, and it'll get a bit of a chuckle or a giggle or whatever, but them telling your joke is just next level, isn't it?
Because
it's like
it was like
laughter, isn't it, everywhere?
Oh, what's Tommy Cooper? He was so funny when he was doing his crap magic going wrong. Yeah, and that was just.
Well, it's like you're exactly right, because I think if I give you Tommy Cooper's script, and say go stand there and do it, I don't know. You probably get booed off. And I also think the same as well as if you give me some of like Harry Hill's stuff.
Yes.
I couldn't stand on a stage and say any of Harry Hill's jokes.
No.
Because you just can't pull it off, can you? And they're the same. You can try and replicate. What I was going to mention, because you reminded me when we were talking about it, there was a TV film called Eric, Ernie and Me.
Yes.
Do you remember it? Yeah. So Stephen Tompkinson played Eddie Braben, Mark Bonner played Eric Morecambe, and Neil Maskell played Ernie Wise. It was from 2017. You just reminded me about that. That's a really good drama to watch.
Really good, because
as well alongside go on YouTube and watch loads of you'll go down the rabbit hole, I think, if you do that.
Especially if you're not British. Any listener out there, just go and watch some Morecambe and Wise sketches.
What's kind of the American equivalent, do you think?
I don't know.
Sort of double acts. Is it like your Lauren Hardy and your? I know they're more movie wise, but I mean as famous. I mean in America. I
don't know, because I think America was more your chat show hosts with a sidekick, wasn't it? I don't know. I don't really know much about like that 70s family viewing. I don't know
if they had I can't think of an equivalent.
Yeah,
there probably is, but
yeah, but duos were a big thing in British comedy because it all came from vaudeville.
People like Little and Large and Hale and Pace and stuff were huge, weren't they?
Yeah.
Those the comedy duos
Smith
were
and
massive,
Jones.
weren't they? Smith and Jones, There's loads, isn't there? No, when you mentioned about Christmas, any of those Christmas specials, and I do mean any. What they tend to do now, though, is they tend to do specials where it's clips from all the Christmas specials as opposed to the whole episode. And it's always those clips we just mentioned, and you still laugh every time, don't you?
It is.
No matter what.
Brilliant. Yeah. I'm glad we both had more mobiles on our list. That's really made that has made me smile. What about your next choice?
I'm going back to Disney. Muppets Christmas Carol.
Oh yes. Scrooge again, Christmas Carol again.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, it's the same story again as Mickey's Christmas Carol. That it's probably one of the most famous stories ever, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the Muppets Christmas Carol. Oh, God.
It is good.
What I love is just the fact that I don't know if I read this, and it was in an interview when he asked obviously Michael Caine to do it. He did say he would only do it if he could play it straight, as in I'm going to treat this like it's Shakespeare almost. I'm going to turn up and do this, like it is a dramatisation of the Scrooge story, and he does. Yeah, and that's the reason it works. Because I think if he was jokey or trying to play off,
it would, the
Muppets, it wouldn't have worked. He makes it work.
Definitely.
And obviously it's got all your favourite Muppet characters in it as well.
It's how they managed to, like you mentioned with the Mickey Mouse one, they managed to get the perfect character of the Muppets for the perfect parts as well, don't they? Definitely. They just nail it. It's like, and you can just tell they've been in a room with a few writers, and it's like when we have a good idea, when someone says, so and so should be such, it's like, yes. When someone says a good idea, everyone's just like, yes.
Having Kermit as Bob Cratchit is just amazing, isn't it? And obviously you get Miss Piggy then, don't you, along with that. But that makes me feel Christmassy watching that movie, definitely. Between them two, I can watch them back to back.
Brilliant. My next two are movies. First one, Trading Places. Now, I've already done me Coming to America, and that's a sort of Christmassy one. And it was the film John Landis and Eddie Murphy did before 1983. And it is a Christmas film because I still think of Dan Aykroyd in a Santa suit with a turkey leg. Like when he's just, at that point, he's down and out, isn't he?
Lost everything at this point, hasn't he?
That is a film I do... That and Coming to America, I do revisit a couple of times, and it's generally around Christmas. I don't know what it is. I think they were just always on BBC One and late night as well.
Yeah, because this comes back to it, doesn't it? Whereas when we were kids, you didn't have Sky Movies, you didn't have YouTube and Netflix and all that, so you were reliant on things just being repeated. Yeah. And the likes of Trading Places would always be on every year, probably the same day, same time. Yeah. And so that was how you rewatch stuff. You couldn't just, unless you had the VHS or whatever, and it was unlikely really that Trading Places was something that you just put on in the summer or it would only really be that time.
Definitely
of year,
Christmas, and it is Christmas. I don't get it because I know it's not all takes place over Christmas, but part of the film does take place over Christmas. I just love it. And I think we mentioned it when we did Coming to America. Again, it's at that point where Eddie Murphy's just on the up as an absolute superstar, and he's brilliant. Jamie Lee Curtis is brilliant in it. Dan Aykroyd is brilliant in it. It's a great film. It is a really good one. What about your next choice?
Next choice, the obvious one. It's Die Hard.
Excellent.
Die Hard in 1988. There's always that internet chatter, isn't he, about whether it's a Christmas film or not.
Because Bruce Willis has said it's not a Christmas film.
Bruce has come out and said it's not.
Was he just being controversial, though?
I don't care. It's a Christmas film. But I don't even care if...
It's set at Christmas.
It's got Christmas songs.
Film. Yeah.
If you think about the story and take away maybe the terrorism and the killing, it's just about a guy trying to get home at Christmas, isn't it? He's just trying to get home. See his, him and his partner, they're going through a bit of a rough patch, aren't they? Sort of separated, semi-separated. He just wants to get home and see his kids. Very similar to sort of like Scrooge, has all these trip-falls along the way.
Even similar to Die Hard 2.
But yeah, it's got Christmas music. It's a Christmas Eve party.
Yeah.
It couldn't be more Christmassy. It's got a Christmas tree in it. What more do you want?
It is. I think it's a Christmas film. Now, my last choice is, I think, the ultimate Christmas film. It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, good choice, yeah.
So I took Jackie to see this. Jackie had never seen this film. A couple of years after, I think we'd only been together a year or two, and I said, you need to come and watch It's a Wonderful Life. She's like, well, black and white film. In fact, she didn't even know it was black and white until it started playing. So we got tickets to go to the Philharmonic and watch it on Christmas Eve.
Nice.
And it came on, and it was like, he was in black and white. She was like, you didn't tell me he was in black and white. But it's become a tradition of ours. We pretty much watch it every Christmas Eve now. But if anyone doesn't know, the 1946 Frank Capra, Jimmy Stewart starring film, it's the ultimate Christmas story of like what would happen if I wasn't here. He's a man. It's really quite dark.
It's really dark.
That's what people forget. People think it's a lovely Christmas movie. The ending's a lovely Christmas movie, but man, it is and it's 1946. You're dealing with like post-war, and it is dark, and it's and have you noticed there's a couple of Phoenix Nights reference it a few times, because the main bad guy in it, Potter, is in a wheelchair.
Oh, right.
And there's another one, I can't remember off the top of my head. There's another one off the top of my head that I remember when I watched it last time, and oh my God, that's another Phoenix Nights reference. I think they've had a little play.
More the other way round, to be fair.
Yeah, obviously.
I don't think It's a Wonderful Life was referencing Phoenix Nights.
I don't know, but yeah, it's not Christmas without Wonderful Life to me. I've just got one little story for the first time we went to Philharmonic and watched it. When we got in there, it was absolutely packed out. It's a wonderful venue to go and watch something. But as the film started, there was a couple behind us. I think they were like, it must have been like 50s, 60s, definitely St. Helens way. So what we definitely describe as a wool. But, and they started like churning away to the film, like reacting to it, like, oh my God, did you say he didn't really? And
audience participation.
Yeah, and I could tell when it first started, like I was a bit like trying to turn around, and I got the impression that there were a few people around me, and then it suddenly dawned on all of us at the same time, this couple, I think they both had a learning disability or something, and then it just became the sweetest thing ever to listen to their commentary.
They're enjoying the movie.
Yeah, and there was like just listening to them, and it became an experience. Like, and because the minute I realised, and there was a few of us sort of glanced eyes, we realised just by what they were saying and how they were doing things, I was like, these definitely got a learning disability, and it just became. And I'll never forget that in this wonderful setting. Jackie had never seen a film. Jackie had not even got onto that because she was that engrossed in the film. Even though she said she'd never watched a black and white film, which is quite funny. But it's always one of their memories I always have. And we do watch it every Christmas Eve. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful film. So there are 5 choices each for something for our listener to go and watch. At this point, Dave, I've got a Christmas quickfire round. We're going to finish up on, but before I get to that, I've got you a gift.
Oh?
I've got you a gift over here. So
this isn't even a jokey thing, you generally has.
You know you don't know. So I've got us both one.
Okay.
So you can...
We're going to open this live on air, are we?
So it doesn't make interesting.
So for the listener then, it's a blue box, and it's got on the top, delivery for someone very special. Very nice. It's about the size, I don't know, about like a mobile phone box size-ish. Right, I'm going to...
Go on, you open it first, because I know what it is, yeah.
It says fragile on the side as well. Let me just rip this off. Shame that I've got a YouTube special now, haven't I?
I know.
Right, there we go. Right, I'm going to open it up. Oh, wow. So, I'll after the special comes out, I'll post pictures of this. But we have got watch it if you can mugs. We've got merch.
That's exactly.
We've got merch. Oh wow! Cheers. That's amazing.
They're brilliant, aren't they?
So yeah, we've got mugs with our logo on.
I thought it actually comes out really well.
Thank you very much. I'm really impressed.
Because I got you one and I ordered it and I thought,
well, you're going to have one yourself.
Definitely, yeah. But I did think I wouldn't go through a certain moonpig.com. I'm sure if I go to a mug company, I reckon we can get a stack a lot cheaper than what I paid for one of these. But I would just wondered how it would turn out. But I think the colours and the logo works really well.
It's absolutely brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go, Dave. Happy Christmas.
Thank you very much.
Right, before we finish, I thought I couldn't not have a little quick fire round. So Dave, this is your Christmas quick fire round. Right, I've got 5 questions. I'm going to take your first answer, and I need an answer within a couple of seconds, or if not, I'll just edit it later. Right, question 1. Tell me a gift you never got as a kid, but you really wanted.
Castle Grayskull.
Castle Grayskull, loved it. Favourite Christmas dinner trimming? Have you ever noticed we only ever use the word trimming in Christmas dinner? Like, we never ever use that word when we say, and all the trimmings.
I do like stuffing balls.
Stuffing balls?
Big fan.
Interesting. Tell me a Christmas tradition you do with your family.
National Lampoon.
Love it. Who would be in your cast for a Christmas movie?
Ooh. David Tennant.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, Olivia Colman.
Yes.
Put in everything.
Yeah.
Let's put Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
You know, based on because of Die Hard. And
Can we have Hugh Grant as well?
Well, I was going to say Paddington then. Let's have Hugh Grant and Paddington.
Well, Hugh Grant's got to come back as the baddie from Paddington, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I love him. I love Hugh Grant. Okay, last question. Christmas as a kid or Christmas as a dad?
Oh, as a dad. Yeah, I think so.
Excellent. That was your quickfire Christmas round. And that was our Christmas special. Dave, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. We're all off to watch National Lampoon's Christmas. Watch it if you can.
This was a Watch It If You Can production, executive produced by Kenny, our Val's lad, on Work Experience.
Don't forget to follow, rate and share from wherever you get your podcast from.